I'm here today to invite you, every time before you are getting dressed, to think 2 minutes consciously how you want to be perceived. And I will try to convince you that this will improve your life. I believe that every person in this room, actually everybody, can look and dress attractive, appealing, and authentic. And that your imagination can be the catalyst of becoming the person you always wanted to be perceived as. Now, some of you might think I'm going to talk about fashion, trends, brands, and garments now. I won't. I love the industry I work in, but I do not overrate it. And what I've learned in many years of being in this industry and many collaborations with designers and many shows from London to Milan, that you do not look more attractive just because you're wearing the latest fashion item. And you're not more appealing to others just because you've spent lots of money on your clothes. And you most certainly do not lose authenticity just because you have put effort into the way you dress. Now, if we think about dressing, we have to go from one certain point. It all starts here. If your brain agrees that your life might improve if you don't dilute your presence with unthoughtful outfits, you will open the door to your imagination. The first impression is not a myth. There's vast evidence that when we meet other people, that snap judgments like this occur within seconds. And these judgments are very accurate, and they tend to persist for a long time. Even if you have been able to accumulate more information about this person afterwards, and these judgments and evaluations are instantaneous. And we can speculate that the neural basis of these kind of judgments involve rapid, unconscious processing, which leads to a certain gut feeling. So to create a positive gut feeling towards ourselves, the first thing we have to do is to dress with respect for others and to put effort into our looks. Now, I have people saying before to me, why would I like to do that? I'm quite happy with my outfit and presentation. Of course you are. And you have every right to think and feel like this. But I would like to invite you to reflect with me one more time and use your imagination about what I just said, about that blink moment when people meet you for the very first time and create an impression about you. And I can tell you that these people will think differently about you if you have put effort into the way you dress. They will think that you are more successful, that you are more trustworthy, that you're more interesting, and that you're more fun to be with. But most importantly of all, it is highly likely that you will feel different about yourself. Because your feeling of pride, self-esteem, and satisfaction will change. And this will change many other aspects in your life and play in all your relationships, at work and at home. Now let me show you a little film about someone who put himself to the test.
Tomorrow I'm gonna go through a process that is very new to me, and I approached this whole thing with mixed feelings, and I really wanted to make sense of it. Why? There were some important things. I wanted to feel comfortable, and I wanted to feel okay with how I look, but I've never ever used the way I dress to express myself. Probably, and I don't know it yet. That's the whole idea behind the adventure. It may, or it does, set the mood and the stage for engagement with other people, and it's the part, the without mirrors part, because it's not about fashion in the sense that I've always thought of fashion. And I really am curious, what is style that is beyond fashion?
Thank you, Java, for your courage. Now, when it comes to perception and presentation, many people are afraid of having to show some of their vulnerabilities, are secretly ashamed of not being perfect in size, height, weight, looks. And some people simply don't know how to create the right perception. They are not alone. They are many. Now let me approach this whole theme from a different angle. Why would we like to dilute who we are and our achievements with inappropriate presentation or unsuitable outfits? I know. Some of you might not care this much about fashion and grooming. You possibly just get dressed every morning because after all we are a species born naked and never grow any fur. And of course there are also all these life responsibilities. The family, the kids, the job, the team at work, our friends, our health, our relatives, our hobbies, oh, the list goes on. And all of a sudden, we have no time and resources left to invest in our own appearance. But we can avoid this trap. We can avoid this trap by thinking consciously every time before we're getting dressed and run through the following questions. Every time, and your life will improve. It will improve because you will be wearing curated outfits. Outfits which will make you feel good and which will make others feel good in your company. And the process to get to curated outfits is very interesting and can be divided in 3 steps. Be open. Wake your imagination. Let inspiration happening. Don't be shy. Be curious, eager to learn. Look out for advice. And try to understand what it could mean for you to be style conscious and develop your style eye. Take yourself on a journey. Allow yourself and your mind to explore. Change perspective. Feed your senses and enjoy. And you will understand the building blocks. You will overcome your fears and you will get to your own dressing concept. Now this is the time where we finally do that wardrobe clear out and get rid of all these old socks and underpants and these shirts we haven't worn for quite a few years. And we enjoy the process because we are led by our understanding and knowledge. And all of a sudden, even something like shopping for clothes can be fun. Style does not appear suddenly when you look into the mirror. Style is development, encouraged by our own mind and mindset and imagination, based on our upbringing, our past, but also based on awareness, curiosity, and enjoyment. And the ability to be inspired by beauty and harmony in general. To find inspiration in art, design, culture, music, food, travel, journalism, social media, literature, science, sports, TED, yes, and fashion and grooming. And all these seeds and many others will create your very own personal style garden. To expose ourselves to beauty is not just a vanity pursuit. It's a stimulant to our imagination. Now let me show you a few very simple but effective examples how you can stimulate your mind and use your imagination to improve your life. Some landmark buildings in London, Liverpool Street. Most of us see this location like pictured in this photograph. Others might see the exact same location like this. Now look at the atmosphere Howard Kingsnorth has created in this fantastic photograph. The position he has chosen to take the photograph from. We can sense the dynamics in the city, the strong contrast. We can feel the whole environment, including the will of weather. Our imagination can change realities, can take it out from the ordinary and make it special. On the left, you have a permanent installation in the Saatchi Gallery in London. It's called 2050 by Richard Wilson. It's an allusion to our senses because ceiling and floor become one, and only the smell might give it away. The room is flooded with recycled engine oil. And when I first saw it, I was mesmerized and disorientated. And so was everybody else I've taken there so far. And on the right, I've chosen the work of a famous Austrian artist, Gustav Klimt, who created The Kiss in 1907. What we all can see is gold, flowers, and two people kissing. But have a closer look. The two bodies intertwine and form a very important part of the male body. Now, what I would like to show you with this is not that Mr. Klimt was a naughty artist. What I would like to show you with this is that we all sometimes only can see what the surface gives us, and that we have to be brave and look closer and deeper to see all the details, because details train our style eye. One of my favorite magazines is Wired. because I can feel the future when I read it. I do not recommend to only follow fashion trends. I recommend to follow intelligent trends. Trends which describe how rapidly everything changes around us, where we are and where we are going. Because if you understand this, you will also understand style, because style is born out of environment too. And the Twitter image is there because we not only have to take care of our physical appearance, but also of our digital appearance. Now, this is a bit of fun, if it were not so true. Have a look at the pictures and the food on the pictures. I will now show you a choice of different people, and we can all guess who has eaten what today. Do you think you know the answers? Food is nourishment for our senses. If we put effort and quality in our food and eat well, the outcome will also be quality. It doesn't matter if it's a home-cooked meal or a dinner in a Michelin star restaurant. Good food will influence our style because it helps change our body shape and also gives us an appreciation of taste and quality. Travel educates, but most importantly of all, it helps us think differently. By taking ourselves out of the environment we're used to, we might like to change things because our body and mind is exposed to different experiences. And this will shift priorities, and creativity can flow better. And all of this will add to your personal style garden. Easy to surround myself with beauty if I've got £3 million for a villa like this on the beach. If you thought this or similar, I'm sorry, but you were wrong. Of course you get what you pay for. But beauty can be found in something so fantastic and futuristic like this, as much as in an architectural example like that. Look at the pattern on the wall. Look at the colors. Look at the arrangements of kitchen utensils. Look at the simplicity, the humble atmosphere. Money cannot buy style, and beauty sometimes costs nothing. Now, these 4 elements will influence greatly how successful we are in developing our own style. And by doing this, we can also be fantastic role models for our children. Because we not only teach our children how to walk and talk, we also teach our children imagination and how to be compassionate. The ability to put ourselves in someone else's shoes is imagination, and extremely important for forming relationships, empathy, and the understanding for others. And our ability to be able to dress with respect for others will not only improve our lives, but will also be an essential guideline for our children in their future. I truly believe that it really only takes 2 minutes of thinking consciously every time before you're getting dressed how you want to be perceived to develop a good dress sense over time. We humans have style in our DNA. Come on, take yourself on a journey and open those doors those doors you possibly always knew were there. Thank you.